These 3 pieces here are all we have left from our last clothing thrift haul, which means once I'm finished with these 3 pieces, we will have to go thrifting again for a new pile of clothes to alter and upcycle. So we have this green hippie fairy-esque dress. It's almost like a tie-dye green with this really detailed stitching and then sequins. It's also very stretchy, and I'm hoping this being so stretchy will actually work in our favor when I start upcycling this. And I was kind of thinking for this piece it would be really fun to do something with a lot of ruffles. So maybe I would keep it as a dress, but shorten it a little bit and then add a bunch of ruffles to the bottom. Maybe. I think it'll be easier to make a decision once I try this one on. And then we also have this little vest. It is 100% silk, but I love the pattern of this. It's just kind of boring. I want to keep it as a vest, but I was thinking of maybe doing like a halter style vest. We'll see if I'm able to do that or not. And then we have this paisley midi skirt. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with this, but I do feel like this would be really cute as a dress, maybe a halter dress, or maybe a baby doll top. We have some good options for this. And I'm hoping I can get through all 3 of these today. But if I'm not able to get through all 3 of these, then we'll just have to do a part 2. And I think for today, I want to start with this green hippie fairy dress. And for these projects, I'm going to be using my dress form. I don't use her enough. I've just gotten really used to just putting clothes on and then pinching the fabric where it needs to come in versus using my dress form. I think another reason why I don't use this all the time is because I know not everyone is going to have one, and you don't need a dress form to make clothes. You can just try things on, look in front of a mirror, and then pinch where you need to take in the fabric and then make your marks that way. But I just feel bad because she's in my closet most of the time, so we're gonna let her have her moment in this video. Also, I get a lot of questions on what bras I wear with tops like this, or backless tops, or strapless tops. And there are 2 different kinds that I wear almost every day. If I'm wearing something loose and flowy, I wear a sticky bra. You can find them at Target or Amazon, and I will have one linked in my Amazon storefront in the description. And then for more form-fitted clothes like this top here, I will wear something like this. In my opinion, the key for wearing one of these is not to just buy the small cover, to buy the larger one that covers the whole thing, if you know what I mean. Because I feel like the smaller ones, you can still see them through your shirts, but if you wear one that covers everything, it's a lot more seamless. And I will also link that in my Amazon storefront. This tank top is also from Amazon. I have it in 4 different colors. It is so comfortable and buttery soft. Highly, highly recommend. So anyway, I'm going to try this on so you guys can see how it looks on. It's not terrible on, I just feel like it's a little frumpy. I just want to do something a little bit more fun and flirty with this dress, and I got some really good inspo on the Urban Outfitters website. I'm thinking I want to cut the bottom to about here and then use the fabric that I cut off to make an extra ruffle at the bottom. So the bottom of this will almost have like a tiered effect, and then I want to take it in at the waist. And depending on how I like this portion when I'm done, I might not do anything to the neckline and the sleeves, but I think I'm going to work on the bottom half first, and then we'll see how we like the top portion after. And since this fabric is so stretchy, I'm going to have to take off a decent amount off the sides in order to give it a more form-fitted look. And since I'm going to be cutting off the bottom and using it to add a ruffle, the first layer can be a bit shorter, and then the second ruffle underneath that is what will give us the length that we want for the dress. For my first cut, I'm going to go a bit shorter. I think I'm going to take off about 11 inches from the bottom here. Okay, I had every intention to use my dress form, but this material, I think with the sequins, it was just sticking to it like Velcro. So I think for this project, I won't be able to use the dress form. The dress just wasn't hanging right on it. So this is what we have so far. Yes, this is short, but we're gonna be making extra ruffles with the fabric that we cut off. And I think I might have enough to do 2 extra rows, so like a 3-tiered skirt portion of this. So I'll be adding 2 extra rows of ruffles. And for the bottom hem, I was thinking to make it extra ruffly, I will do a lettuce trim, but I don't have thread this color. I have like a grayish green that might work, but if it doesn't work, I'll have to go to the craft store and get some thread that matches this color a little bit better to do a lettuce trim. I think before I work on the tiers, I'm going to take in the sides of this portion and get this top part fitting the way that I want, and then I can add my ruffles to the bottom. And since this fabric is so stretchy, I'm gonna have to take off quite a bit to get it fitting the way that I want. And off the waist, it looks like I'm gonna have to take in like 2 inches from each side. And then under the arms, I think I can get away with maybe 1.5 inches under the arms. So I'm gonna take this off and lay it flat on the bed. And I'm gonna take a tank top that is stretchy and more form-fitted, and I'm gonna lay it on top of this, and then I can measure out exactly how much to take off from this top portion here. And also I want the bottom part here to keep the flowiness. So whatever I take off the waist, I'm gonna taper it at the bottom so that I'm taking off the minimum off of this bottom portion. And now I'm just gonna sew along these lines that I made on each of the side seams. And when I'm working with stretchy fabric, I don't want to use a lot of tension because I don't want rippling. So I'm going to turn my tension down to a 1. My stitch length I'm going to keep between a 3 and a 2, and I'm going to do a straight stitch along the side seams. And the reason I'm going to do a straight stitch is because this has a lot of horizontal stretch. And now we can do the same thing to the other side. I also get a lot of comments when I have all of my fabric to the right of my machine. And the reason why I do this is because I make my marks on one side of the fabric when it's laid flat. And since I started on this side under the arm, I also want to start on the underarm of this side. Technically, if I wanted to keep the fabric on the left side of the machine, I could just flip this around and then start at the bottom. But for some reason, in my mind, if I start at the top of one side, I want to do the same thing to the other. In my opinion, it doesn't make a difference in the result having the fabric over here because there's plenty of room and it fits. I know it's not how you're supposed to do it, but it's just how I do it. So now before we cut off any extra fabric, I want to try it on, see how it fits, and then we can cut off any extra. Okay, this is a much better fit now. It's not skin tight. I think it's just form-fitted enough to kind of give some shape to it. And now we can start working on our ruffles. And this fabric is kind of like that jersey knit material, so it doesn't really fray. Luckily, and I think I can get away with cutting down the center here, and that way I can add 2 extra ruffles to the bottom of this. And I decided I don't like all this extra fabric in the back. I'm gonna make it even all the way around. So for my ruffles at the bottom, I'm going to start by attaching one side on the inside like this, all the way down. I still want to be able to do a lettuce trim along this edge here. So where I attach it, I think is going to be like 1 inch above this bottom hem. And then I'll do the same thing to the bottom ruffle. So then once I've attached my 2 extra rows of the ruffles, then I can go in and do my lettuce trim along these raw edges here. And since this seam is going to be horizontal on the dress, I'm going to use a zigzag stitch. That way it has a little extra stretch to it. Okay, so here's our progress update so far. And now we have these raw edges here, and we can go over it with our serger to do a lettuce trim. And to do my lettuce trim, I'm going to be using my serger. It is possible to do it with a standard sewing machine, and I do have a video on my channel showing how you can do it if you only have a standard sewing machine. But I think using a serger will definitely give a more professional and cleaner finish. It doesn't mean you have to, but since I have a serger, I'm gonna go ahead and use my serger. And right now I have black thread on my serger, but that's not gonna work for this project. So I'm gonna rethread it with some thread that matches our project a little better. I tried a new method for rethreading my serger, which is supposed to make it easier. And supposedly you're supposed to just be able to tie on the new color to these and then run it through the machine instead of rethreading the whole thing. But I must have done it wrong because it didn't work out that way. I had to rethread it manually anyway, but I tried. So I'm just going to use a piece of scrap fabric to make sure all of my settings are correct. And to do a lettuce trim, you have to pull the fabric while you stitch. And here's how that test strand turned out. Here's what the bottom looks like after we add those layers of lettuce trim. And this is the final result of that dress. I think the length of this is perfect, and I styled it with my gold waist chain and then my tan Steve Madden boots and then my green leather bag that I also thrifted. Now the question is whether or not I want to keep this top portion the way it is or if I want to change it. I do like it like this because most of my tops are tank tops or halters or strapless, so it's nice to have something different in my wardrobe. But I was also debating on maybe turning this into a halter dress, kind of like this. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And I think the next project we're going to work on today is going to be this little silk vest. So I thrifted this silk vest for $1.99. It's Liz Claiborne. Claiborne? Am I saying that right? I think it's Liz Claiborne. So this is where the top button is. I'm only going to button a couple of them so you can see. I definitely want to keep this as a vest. I feel like the pattern is really fun and I like the texture of it. But I was thinking of altering it and then maybe making this V a little bit more prominent. So getting rid of the top button and then folding this under and then doing a top stitch. And then I do want to take the sides in a little bit just to make it a little more fitted around my waist. And I think I want to bring the arms in a little bit more. I think it's a little too wide. So if I just maybe like an inch. Can you see the vision? Or, hear me out, I could cut from under the arms straight across the back and make it an open back, and then cut the arms in a little bit in the front, and then go around the neck so that there's like 1 inch that goes around the back of the neck as like a halter vest. I think that would be really cute, but I do risk possibly ruining this if it doesn't turn out the way that I want it to. I think I want to risk it. So this is silk and then the liner is polyester. Okay, let's see where we're at. The liner is basically detached right now, so just ignore the liner being detached and saggy. Okay, here's where we're at right now. Don't judge it too hard yet. This part here is still gonna come in a little bit, and I think I'm gonna have to lift this. So this back neck part is gonna have to be tightened, and then I'm also gonna have to take it in at the back. So this is about where it would sit once I bring up the neck and then hem the back. I think off the back of the neck, I'm going to take off about 4 inches and then reattach it. And then from the center of the back, I'm going to take it in about 2 inches. And then we can see where we're at. And then I can hem this neckline here and the armholes. So for the neck, I'm going to put the good sides together. And I'm just going to pin where I want to sew it. Then I can try it on. I don't want to cut off this extra fabric until I know for sure that it's the right amount taken off. And then for the back, I pinned together my liner and then the outer silk piece. For the seam down the back, I want it to be symmetrical. And this is the back panel. I'm going to take where it has a little split on each side and then put the good sides together. And this way I can find the center. So now I'm just going to pin these pieces together. Now we can sew a straight stitch down the center of the back along with a straight stitch on the neck piece. I think I got it right the first time. I think the amount taken off the neck was perfect, and same with the amount taken off of the back. I like how this is fitting. Now I can go ahead and fold this under, and now I can just pin this in place, and I'm going to do a top stitch all the way around. And then for this outer hem here that goes under the arms and around the back, I think I'm going to do a rolled hem with my serger, and I'm going to use the same color thread that I used on my last project. And I'm going to do that just to keep the liner and the outer piece together. And then I think I will use my bias tape to go all the way around this perimeter here. And this here is all I have left of my ivory colored bias tape. So hopefully this is enough to complete this project. And this is double fold bias tape. So I'm going to open it up like this and I'm going to pin the good sides together and I'm going to go all the way around the perimeter and then do a straight stitch along this portion here. And here's how that looks once we sew all the way around. Now we can fold it over this raw edge like this, and then we can fold it over one more time. And now we can do another straight stitch along the perimeter, and the inside will look like this. And here's what that should look like when we're finished from the inside and then from the outside. And this is how it turned out. I'll show you guys the back. I like how this turned out, but there's something about this portion that I feel like is a little bit off. And I don't know if it's the underarm part, like maybe more needed to come off here. Also, since I brought it up higher after I took out the first button to make the V-neck deeper, I feel like it just brought me back to the same problem. Maybe I should undo the first one and then make the V-neck a little deeper again now that I have the neck where I want it. Okay, so I decided to go in and adjust the neckline, and I seam ripped this part here, and then I made the V-neck just a little bit lower, which I think really helped with this underarm area because before it was attaching up here, that top button, and then it was pulling really weird under the arms, and I just feel like this is a lot better. Let me know what you guys think. I also had to add a couple darts to the neckline because when I adjusted it, there was a little bit of loose fabric that was like folding out, and it still does that a little bit on this side. But I think for the most part, it's now sitting the way that I would like it to sit. And when I first styled this, it was a little bit boring and it needed something, so I added this silver waist chain. And now I feel like it's giving 70s band groupie, but in a good way. And I have one other idea on how I want to style this halter vest. And I think it would look really cute layered under a button down with a mini skirt. So I'll show you that now. And then this was my idea for layering it with a button down. And this button down was also thrifted and it's also silk and it has like a really interesting texture to it. We're still giving 70s in a good way, I think. But now I feel like we're giving 70s school teacher. My only issue with this outfit though is the shoes. I feel like it's too much of the same color with the vest, the skirt, and the shoes all being like the same color palette. If I owned a pair of chocolate brown knee-high boots, I feel like they would go perfect with this. So just imagine this with some chocolate brown knee-high boots. I will be looking for a pair this fall. And if I can't thrift a pair, I will just buy a pair new because I need some chocolate brown boots. But yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are on styling it layered like this, or if you liked it better with the corduroy pants. But anyway, this is going to be our next project. I thought of maybe turning this skirt into a dress, but I feel like that's a little boring. And I was thinking this would be really fun to turn into like a bell sleeve tie front top. And then I could use this bottom hem as the bottom hem of the sleeves. But unfortunately, I'm running out of time. So for this video, we only have 2 alterations, but this will be our next one. And I think I'll just do one dedicated video for this. And I'll try to include as many details as I can. So until next week, bye.